I am here to call out the elephant in the room whose name is TikTok Shop, to talk about the dark side of TikTok Shop. And I'm also here to tell you my stance on it from a Zodica standpoint and how it's going to affect me, the stance that I'm taking for my company. And also it's really going to be a little bit of a PSA for you. I'm not here to tell you how to run your business, but I am troubled by what I have been hearing. And I don't think there's enough people talking about it. It's a Chinese marketplace. Please keep that in the forefront of your mind. We've all heard about how the government is trying to put a ban on TikTok and what that would mean. But we've got to remember that as a Chinese marketplace, they are not here to play by our rules. They are Chinese owned. They are here to dominate. They do not have our best interests at heart. So that needs to be the overarching kind of theme here, is just be careful. Be careful of what you're getting into. They are not going to be held by the same free market principles that we enjoy as Americans in this country. Okay, so that's first. Being a Chinese marketplace, you got to understand what their motives are. I'm not going to get into all the political stuff that the US government is saying, because that's already been done. There's stuff out there that you can research and talk about. That's not my concern because that's being addressed. But my concern is, okay, Chinese marketplace, their motive is not to support US small business. Their motive is to support Chinese business. They are going to be selling Chinese goods, all right? They are competing with Temu, they're competing with Shein. They are trying to dominate market share right now. But who is doing the bulk of the work for them? It's US businesses, it's you and me, it's US brands, US retailers, live sellers that are training the American public to search and shop on TikTok. Be very careful, because your customer base is no longer yours on TikTok. TikTok owns that relationship. Not only do you not see any contact information, there's very, very restrictive tools in how you can communicate with people concerning returns and concerning reviews. It is very easy for them to completely turn off your shop and restrict you access to the funds that are in your account simply because of bad reviews that you can do nothing to mitigate. So be very careful with that. The other thing is violations of how you are categorizing, for example, your products. There was someone on the Boutique Hub over the weekend that had commented on my post about how he was selling jewelry. It's categorized as jewelry, and his shop got violations because because they're saying that it's not categorized as jewelry. So these violations, they stack up, sometimes slowly, sometimes overnight. You'll just get shut down. And then what happens to your business? So your customer base and your money is held hostage at the whim of this Chinese-owned marketplace. So be very, very warned on not putting all of your eggs into one basket. I mean, we know this because of what we've seen happen through Facebook and Instagram. But I say even more so with TikTok, no one's really talking about that. Everyone's just talking about, oh, how can I go viral and how can I make as much money as possible in time for Black Friday and all this stuff. So what I'm concerned about too is the amount of data mining that they are doing, security issues. I have trademark ownership over Zodica Perfumery, over Twist and Spritz, over Charm the Air. I have several trademarks that I own that I have the certificates for. I have tried to, when I was still kind of feeling out what my thoughts were about TikTok, I was going down the road of getting my TikTok shop up and running and submitting my legal documents to prove my brand ownership. And even though I've submitted it several times, they continue to deny me of my ownership. So I have no recourse of any kind if someone were to duplicate my product on TikTok Shop, because apparently I don't own my trademarks, even though I've given them the documents from USPTO. That is a huge red flag right there. Another huge red flag was one of my other brand friends said that they were asking for the manufacturer of the products. This is sensitive information. Why would they want that? Is it so that they can go and duplicate the product and then sell it? That is a real risk that I'm worried about. So because of that, I've decided not only am I not going to be selling my product on TikTok Shop, but I'm going to be enforcing the third-party marketplace in our wholesale terms and adding TikTok to that, and starting to ask respectfully that our retailers who are currently selling Zodica product, that they remove them from TikTok, so that we can continue to support each other and thrive. I am concerned of the possibility that TikTok will be able to see the amount of sales volume that you are doing with my product, and also see the customers that are purchasing that, and eventually maybe creating either a duplicate product or finding other Chinese brands that can create a version of what I sell and what I make, and sending it and putting it in front of those customers, stealing that customer base from you, stealing those sales from you. That's just not where I want to put my resources into. It's a very sandy foundation when you're selling on TikTok. So the other things that I just kind of wanted to bring up that I've been hearing over the past few days is how they've purchased 60 warehouses in Fontana, California, that they are wanting to essentially be fulfilled by TikTok. So they're going to be taking on Amazon as well. Potentially that they're going to be employing their own live sellers that are going to be pitching only their Chinese product, but to a US consumer. So these are all things that, again, I'm not an expert on TikTok Shop. I would really enjoy and hope and encourage that one of our leaders in the boutique world could take this topic on and dive into it more and really research it so that we can all make more educated decisions on this, and also prevent us from having any major hurdles and challenges that TikTok could potentially throw our way. There's many people that I've been listening to over the last few days on how their funds are just being held hostage, and that's like their source of income. So this could potentially have a huge detrimental impact on your business. And so I do want to kind of put that PSA out there and encouraging you to find out for yourself, ask the questions, be curious about that. And, sometimes easy money is not good money. Just to be clear, I am only stating that there's now going to be restrictions on selling on TikTok Shop with Zodica products. I am not saying whatsoever to restrict any content at this point. My opinion may change in the future, but at this point, I don't see that being as high of a risk of just posting content with our products. So we are going to continue to do that as a brand, and we'll be working with influencers as well to get the word out about our products. I would only say talk about the brand, but then refer to your website for purchase. That's going to be the best case scenario. Thank you guys for giving me your time. I encourage you to reach out to me if you have questions or concerns. I'm happy to talk about this in more detail with you. And let's all just kind of get educated on this and make sure that we are successful and thriving as we go forward in this holiday season. Thank you guys.